Hey guys, in this video I want to show you how you can use our new widgets to visualize more clearly some of the information in the analytics panel. Giraffe spends an inordinate amount of time on graphics making things look good. You know, we focused on these outlines and on the colors, the composition, the clarity of what we're showing. Allow you to turn off map labels. Because cities are really complicated, this looks now really simple, but it's actually really complicated in how it performs and how it's serviced and how the power and drainage and people movement and vehicle movements happen even in a site like this. It's incredibly complicated. And so being able to distill and visualize what's important and bring people's attention to critical things is of paramount importance. If you want to actually gain an understanding of this site, build a common understanding with other people, whether that's the city or your limited partners or potential tenants. Clarity and simplicity are brilliant. There's no time when you want to be less clear and less simple. And Giraffe is built to facilitate that. And you can see as I'm using this, you can see what I'm doing. I'm adding levels, I'm designing. My activities are clear. And obviously as I'm changing these geometries, these representations of buildings, parks, trees, etc. on the map, all the figures are updating in the Analytics tab, but it's not quite clear what's going on. So because it's overwhelming, because there's a lot of headings, there's a lot of numbers, there's units of measure. We've worked as hard as we can to make it clear as we can, but it's a table at the end of the day. And that's why we've introduced this ability to add different widgets. So I'm going to add a pie chart to this demographic and economic impact section. And I'm only going to include 2 rows I'm going to add a bar chart, 2 rows in my bar chart. So the raw data here is this raw table, and I'm going to add the total population and the total jobs because I want to make a point. I want to tell a story about whether this is like an urban job center or whether this is like a sleepy dormitory suburb. And of course, I can read that right off. There's 529 population and there's 1,400 jobs. So this is clearly more commercial work zone than live zone. But in a presentation or in the thick of a meeting, having this data visualization over here is obviously far more helpful. And if, say, we're striving for balance, we want to get roughly equal number of jobs and population, being able to just see the bars go up and down is great, is really helpful. I'll do another one just to show you some of the other features. I can completely get rid of the table. So currently I've got the table here in build form, but I could just go, you know what, I just want a pie chart, and I'm going to save. And then I get a pie chart. Now, in this instance, the pie chart has included everything by default. But if we go back to it, we've got this net building area, this site area, this building footprint, all of which are measured in square meters, and FSR, which is measured in percent. So FSR doesn't really make sense in this pie chart. So what I'll do is, rather than including explicitly what I want, is I'll exclude the FSR. And maybe I want the table as well, so I'll just add it back in and I'll save changes. And so you can see now I've just got the 3 things that are measured, 3 measures that are measured in square meters. The unit of measure is the square meter, but I've got the table which includes my FSR. And maybe I want to bold that FSR so that it sort of shows as a bit of a summary at the bottom of my built form section. Of course, I can collapse that and do all the things that I was doing before, drag things around, and sequence this analytics presentation in the way I want. But hopefully you can see how much this adds. Very simple tool. It's not going to compete with Power BI or Tableau in terms of its feature richness, but it adds something really, really powerful and really, really configurable to your capability of telling stories quickly and clearly.